I regret so much wasting that time back then. Because my goal didn't change. I'm still trying to achieve it. But I'm just going to get there a couple of years later than everyone. You know how sad that is?
Do you think if people knew how much time they had left, they would value it more?
Time is potential. And every day that you take my time away, you're taking away from my potential.
Okay, I'll tell you what, after today, watch,
and then...
watch.
No, but
you ever say no,
I'm going
this is
to
what I mean.
Listen,
this is exactly what we're talking about.
You're just saying it right now.
Yeah, I'm there now.
From
He's saying
that from here all the way to there now.
The other extreme is bad as well, where you're just being rude to people.
I'm not even going to look at him.
No, I'm not going to. I've never been rude. Not ever did. I've not been rude.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters. Before we get into today's episode of Chai with my Bhai, to let you know, we got 2 sponsorships on this episode. We've got the Glass Canvas, who made us this, let's call it a spade. And we've also got one that says, speaking as a parent, on the way as well. I just realized you guys aren't even in the shot because this is the intro. So, we also have, so we'll put the at here, at the Glass Canvas, give them a follow. Feel free to place an order if you would like something made, custom, handmade glass canvas. Second one is Dessert Delicacy. Again, same from the last episode, who made the brownies. They've also made some white chocolate strawberries. And because I mentioned that we've got one brother who's, not too keen on the... Oh, I've realised this is the intro. You're not even in the shot. Abbas is not too keen on chocolate and stuff. So I requested some plain strawberries with some chocolate so he can choose how much chocolate he wants, if any at all. I think you should try a little bit, just to see the quality of the chocolate. Is it some dead chocolate? Is it, good quality chocolate? We'll see.
Yo, guys. Can we have a moment,
Was that going to be one?
Can I have a moment? This is the best chocolate strawberry, best chocolate covered strawberry I ever tasted in my entire life.
How many have you had?
I've had quite a few. Yo, Abu Bakr, what's this brand called again?
Dessert Delicacy.
Guys, wallahi, I'm genuinely not exaggerating here. Please do yourself a favor and order these from Dessert Delicacy.
So that was one of the ready-made ones. Try one of the self. That's like the chocolate fountain. You dip it, literally it's fresh. Yeah.
I trust them. Like this is right.
Allah barik. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to another episode of Chai with my Bhai. On today's episode, we have Imran and Abbas because Guled didn't make it. Bit of confusion. Was it his fault? Was it Jimmy's fault?
No, it was Jimmy's fault. It was Jimmy's fault.
For not telling us that he said that he couldn't cancel, that he couldn't make it 2 days ago, but
so we could
he told us today.
Guest.
So we couldn't find a replacement. We tried to find a replacement. We didn't have a replacement.
And he actually looked at us in the eye.
The 3 of us.
It's not an issue. We were like, so you knew 2 days ago? He was like,
yeah, I
said, you we needed to know that so we can find a replacement. Oh.
So, it's just the 3 of us for today, but inshallah that should suffice. So, today's topic is time management, making the most of your time. So, to start off with, what I'm going to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is extremely inefficient and 10 is extremely efficient, how efficient do you think you are with your time, Abbas?
Are we talking about in terms of mindset,
productive,
or in terms? No, are we talking about
non-productive?
Are we talking about in terms of mentality, or are we talking about in terms of practice?
I'm talking about there's 24 hours in a day.
I like the fact
on
that
average,
that.
How much of your day is spent productively and how much of your time is spent unproductively?
I think my only unproductive days are when I come here. And every other day is pretty much completely productive.
Really?
Yeah.
I think for the guys who work here as well, the most unproductive days are the days that you come here.
Oh, yeah.
They get distracted.
There you go. Exactly.
Right, because he distracts him, bro.
Yeah.
No, it was only yesterday. One brother who I distracted.
Bro, you know what
unfortunately.
It is, yeah? You got a thing in it. Like when it comes to... You got your own storm.
Oh, my
your own wave,
days.
sorry.
Did you...
your own
wave, yeah.
Your own title.
Yeah.
Mr. Wavy.
Don't want to bring that in. But no, anyways.
So on a numbered scale, what would you say?
I would say that I'm constantly trying to improve this. It's something that I'm really conscious of all the time. In fact, it gives me crazy levels of anxiety when I'm not working. So if not just not working, but if I'm not productive, I feel like anxious.
Sick.
Yeah, like, and I want to get out of those places. So, for example, not maybe just because you guys will relate to this, but when I'm here and we're not recording, or when I'm here and we finished and I have to wait, and I haven't got anything with me to do anything productive with, it is very
But you know, like, for like
anxiety-inducing.
about a month, I've been every time you come here and I see you being unproductive, I'm like,
no, but
did you bring anything to be productive?
no, but
with?
I
And you're like,
can't. No, but I can't bring anything to be productive with. All of my operations are in an office that's not here.
Laptop.
No,
Well,
I
if
mean,
you can carry a knife that comes out in the station and
Look,
you get
just-
questioned by station staff, why are
do
you
you want me
carrying
to
a
tell
knife?
you this? Shall I tell
I'm
the
sure you
story?
can carry a laptop.
Shall I tell the story?
Maybe
Do you
at the
wanna-
end, if you have some time.
Yeah, let's leave
since
that story.
the episode's
Let's
about
leave that
time.
story. Anyways, look. The point I'm making is, by the way, I wasn't blaming either of you.
I
guys.
know, I know.
I'm just saying that.
Oh wait, kind of felt like it.
It's
but
kind. Oh, okay.
No, I didn't.
No, it's because of the journey, and obviously because I have to
Yeah.
travel here and then commute here and commute back. It becomes a bit of a task. But otherwise,
get a number?
every other day,
From 1 to 10.
maybe.
You know, I used to do surveys on the phone, innit? On live, people used to do
Maybe-
this all the time. Like, I used to be like, can you get, score of 0 to 10? How satisfied were you with the customer service that
You
John
see how you're
provided
just
you with?
wasting
Look,
our time.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Okay. Look, no, fine. I would
but
say.
bro, you know you're the most guilty of that. Like,
Yeah.
I'll ask it one question and you'll give a whole lecture and I'll be like, bro, by the way, what I was.
I would say it's a 9, just because I right now I think I'm as efficient as I can be, but I know that it can be improved.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
a high score. Allahumma barik. Guys, say Allahumma barik.
Imran,
Imran, what about you? What would you say on a scale of 1 to 10? How productive are you with your time?
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah ma ba'd. So I actually believe that every day of my life is unproductive. And
But-
I don't believe, I think the last productive day I had, I went home to my wife with like the absolute biggest smile on my face. I was like, babe, today I was productive, alhamdulillah. And that was maybe about 2 weeks ago. And I think it maybe was 2 years before I had a productive day like that. And the reason for that is because for me, people might look at my day and think I'm being mad productive because I'm always doing something. But I'm not doing what I want to do, what my priorities are. Do you understand? So every day of my life, you see, productivity is not about getting things done. Productivity is about getting your priorities done. That's what I always tell to the brothers in the office. I see you working, but you're not being efficient. You're doing stuff, but you're not doing what needs to be done.
There's a difference between productivity and business, as in busyness. Like
Busyness,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm busy every day, but I'm not productive. And the reason for that primarily is, and I love the new Child My Bhai theme, which is that it's therapy and we go for our personal problems. Try and spot in the last episode who was the one who the therapy session was for in the last episode.
What was the last episode?
About
What was the last
dealing
episode?
with brothers who
Resolving conflict.
Yeah. Just please comment below. Who do you think the conflict was? He might be the one who's missing today.
Maybe.
Resolving his conflict. Maybe, you never know.
He's busy right now. He's going to
Busy
sort it
right
out.
now. The point I'm making is that there are priorities that I have, and what is important to me, I don't get it done in a day. And the reason I don't, and this is the thing that if I die and I don't sort out this problem, I'm gonna be really upset. Like you know what I'm saying? And that is that other people keep infringing on my priorities every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to find that balance between saying, get the hell out of my face, my life, my space, my presence, and let me do what I need to do so that I can be productive for one more day in my life, please. But it just doesn't happen, man. I'm trying to find the balance between being stiff like that and also trying to give people what they need. Do you understand? So yeah, no, I wish, I dream of being productive. I'm very busy. I'm constantly doing. But am I productive? Unfortunately, no.
Thank you so much for that monologue. Can you answer the question now, please?
I told you. I
No,
said
no.
You have a good
No,
number.
Oh, here we go. So now,
Literally, all I asked
by the
for
same- we can
was
be
can
there,
I have
see how
a
you wasted
number?
our time now.
And then I was going to ask you why, but you went straight to the why.
No problem. I haven't wasted any time. I gave you the why, and I'm going to give you the number. So I haven't wasted any time.
So what's the
What is
number?
it?
Can you just give us the number?
2.
Really? That
Wallahi.
extremely low?
Wallahi billahi, akhi.
So you believe that 80% of your time is wasted?
If you say it like that, probably 1.
90% of your time is wasted?
Yeah.
Subhanallah.
Like, wallahi, you don't.
That
understand.
That is
you're
dark. I'm not going to lie. I would cry to sleep.
But I
to
think it's
get out of
important
that.
to discuss why even time is important.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's actually really relevant. Like,
You-
why are we even having this discussion?
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you was to count the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the blessings of Allah, you would not be able to quantify them. Not too many. If you actually sat down and said, what are the things that I have to be grateful for in life? Well, this is such a powerful exercise that will increase your iman and make you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and realize that you actually have no reason to be depressed or suicidal. Just count the blessings. One blessing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. But these blessings, the scholars divided them into two categories. They said some blessings are usul, foundational, and some blessings are sub-branches, secondary. There are primary blessings and there are secondary blessings. There are usul blessings and furu' blessings. From the greatest primary blessing is Islam. Without Islam, a person is in a constant state of darkness in this life and the next. Does that make sense? A person spends hellfire in eternity. Islam is the greatest primary blessing. From the other primary blessings, it is time. It is time. Primary blessing is something that you can't exist without. A secondary blessing is something that you may have pain without, but you can't exist without. For example, our hands are not a primary blessing. They are a secondary blessing. We can live without hands, but we can't live without time. If I was to say to a person right now, how much would you pay me for your hand? Ultimately, there may even be a price that he will eventually give. Maybe like £1 billion. And he says, you know what, I'll get a bionic hand and I got a bill. Not me saying I got £1 billion. But if I say
if it's just a hand, you could actually get a really good bionic hand.
I said, to give you some perspective so you can see how important of a blessing time is. If I ask you right now, how much for your hand? Okay, you won't really put a price on your hand. £1 million for your hand, £2 million for your hand. You say, bro, my hand is what? I'm not putting a price on it. That's not a primary blessing, that's a secondary blessing. But let's say you're on your deathbed now, and I say, give me your hand for 1 minute. You're gonna say, take both my hands for 2 minutes. Take my foot as well, and give me an extra minute on top. Take, you know what? Take my kidney and give me an extra hour. So what is a greater blessing? Time is even a greater blessing than your own body parts. Does that make sense? And that's why Imam Hassan al-Basri used to say, you are just time. O son of Adam, you are just days and nights that came together. With every day and night that goes by, a part of you dies.
You actually borrowed time, and every day you're giving it back to Allah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So time is from the primary blessings that we were given. And you know, wallahi, if you had, you know, they say time is gold. No, time is more valuable than gold.
Time is money.
They say time is money, right?
Time is money, yeah.
But time is more valuable than money. No, they even say time is gold. Or something. No, it's time is money.
I've heard time is money.
So I'm saying even the fact that they say time is money, well, time is more valuable than money. Because like money,
a fly flying around. You want to just shut the.
Yeah. I'm saying money can even like grow. It can triple. I can. I'm saying time can't. Once the time is gone, it's gone.
Yes.
So.
As soon as your bonus, a countdown has started now.
Yes.
It's never gonna stop.
Now, would you waste your money? As in regularly?
No, generally people will say it's a bad thing to waste money. Yeah.
And would you kill money? So why do you kill time? Why did you kill time?
Yep.
Well, that's one of the dumbest things people say. In fact, time is killing you.
Yeah.
Every single soul shall taste death when their time is up. Does that make sense? So, like, that's why for me personally, like, being an extrovert. Yeah, I'm a very social guy. I'm a very out there guy. And I think this is something that me and you have come to kind of both mutually at the same point in our life come to realize about ourselves.
Growing at the same time.
Yeah, which is that our nature is to be very sociable and to chat to people, but our goals and our objectives mean more to us than our urge and want to be social. Does that make sense? So I've actually had to go against my default and to go against my psychological and maybe if you can even some extent call it biological construct to actually want to shut people out so that I can actually do what I need to do, which is hard for me, but it's more painful for me to not achieve what it is that I want to achieve. Does that make sense?
I will not regret not going to that link up. I will not regret not coming to somebody's party. I will not regret not seeing you, but I will regret if I don't make my choices that I need to make to get my goals.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of
So
course.
yeah, well, so one thing I would really urge people to do is that, and you know, we have people that waste our time in our lives. Well, like, you would not let someone in your house that was just willy-nilly just picking up your possessions and your wealth every day, just walking away with it, putting their hand inside your wallet.
No, a better example is you wouldn't let someone come into your wallet, take your money or take your card and start spending your money. But regularly people are happy to let someone take their time.
That's not for me. It's like if someone kept stealing my money, I would hate that person.
I missed. Sorry.
I would hate that person.
Yeah.
Why is it that I don't hate the person who takes my time? Me personally, I despise people. Like, I actually,
We've spoken about it extensively, in fact.
I loathe.
Do you think if people knew how much time they had left, they would value it more?
Absolutely.
But when someone knew that, I've got another 80 years.
No, but the reason why I
You
think they would.
then they would
No,
kind of relax and think,
so
oh, jam for the 60. And
I
then
don't think
put
that.
in work for the 20.
No, but maybe they should put work in the first 20 and leave the. Anyways, so I don't think that it would improve people's mindset to the point where they think better, but I think it would be less, because you know the concept of people put off things like heart disease and things like diabetes because they think it's really far away, but the reality is it's not far away. Every step that you take is making it closer. Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, think about it, you know, when people who celebrate birthdays, which obviously is haram anyway, we shouldn't do because it's imitating the kuffar. Like, you're celebrating 1 year closer to death.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's such a weird.
You're actually
weird
celebrating
thing.
1
Proper
year
weird.
closer to your death. Like when you're born, you've got the most life left in you.
Yeah.
And every year that goes by, you're getting. You got less life. If that makes sense. I don't know.
No, bro. I understand.
Your lifespan is decreasing every year, and you're celebrating that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it's with haram and music and this and that, whatnot. And
No, I've never been to a halal birthday party in my life because there's no such thing. But I mean, even if you take all these haram things out of it, is anyways. Look, so the way I see it is time is the same as potential. Those two things are directly proportional. If you're taking away from my time, it means you're taking away the potential goals and benefits and gains that I can get out of this.
I beg
You're cutting things off the end.
I beg you just look into the camera and say it one more time. Like,
what do you want to say? As in that time is potential.
And then you're taking away from your potential. Like that's your like.
No, it's funny because there might be a couple of brothers who watch this and they're gonna know I'm talking about them.
Look into his eyes.
Time is potential, and every day that you take my time away, you're taking away from my potential. My mum and dad will be really proud of me. Anyways, yeah. So the point I'm making is, if you're, I don't like to see it as now. I see it more towards the end. So if I stretch my life as far as I can, and I, let's say I knew, like you were mentioning, let's say I knew when I was gonna die. Let's say I knew.
Yeah.
Every day that is lost is actually not one day. Do you get it? Because the time doesn't have the same value now as it does towards the end, as Imam was saying. It's worth more at the end than it is now. Do you get it? So if you take time away from me here, it only increase, like it's like compound interest, whereby if you've taken something from me here, it's more time towards the end that you've taken away from me. So I don't see it as one. I see it as like weeks have been taken now, months have been taken now. Do you see what I'm saying?
Because 1 day of work now would have resulted in relaxing for maybe a week in the future.
I think relaxing is the wrong concept, but it's that idea.
Not just that, it gets harder to do the things that you want to do
later
when you're older,
in life.
because like, for example,
Responsibility,
memorization.
family, children.
I really am so resentful towards the people who took my time over the last few years when I like, because my memory is really bad now, and as with age, memory actually gets worse. You know what I'm saying? And I can feel it. Not to say that you can't memorize when you're young. No, also when you're old. It might became her father at a very old age and whatever have you. But the point is that it definitely is more of a challenge than it is when you're young. And now I have to spend even more time memorizing and revising than I had to do before.
Exactly.
Time where I could be spending reading more, researching more,
and if you
studying
did it before, you'd be able to do something else right now.
I could do something else now, but it's Qadar Allah, but I just think to myself, like, I regret so much wasting that time back then. Because my goal didn't change. I'm still trying to achieve it. But I'm just going to get there a couple of years later than everyone else.
Bro, I think the same thing.
Do you know how sad that is?
Look. So I think people really underestimate. I mean, this is just the nature of people. And, when you grow up in school and, summer holidays and things like that, you don't really think about what your life is like right now. But your youth is actually the most valuable time in your life.
100%.
You can do the most, you can get the most output from the smallest input in the beginning. And what you should do is use that to get crazy amounts of gains to ride as momentum into your old age. Do you see what I'm saying? Like fitness, for example. I was having this conversation with somebody else the other day, which is that you can only, I'll give you an example, yeah? When you're like 45 years old, there's only a certain amount of weight you're going to be able to lift in your life. Do you get it?
Physically.
There's only, as in like physically, yeah? There's only a certain
gym,
amount.
you mean in the gym?
Yeah, I mean, let's use a common example like the bench press, for example. Yeah, there's only a certain amount of weight you're going to be able to bench. Okay, a lot of people have potential that they can, stack on more weight, etc., etc. And there's genetic factors and various different other things that play into that equation. But if you leave it off in your life to start, then the high end of that gets cut off more and more and more. And using that analogy is with this, it's the same with everything else, with business, with seeking knowledge, with fixing yourself in terms of your own being, your ibadah, all these things. If you maximize in the youth, you can use that momentum in your old age.
So what are some of the ways?
Can I just give you an example of that? Imam Hassan al-Basri rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, العلم في الصغر كالنقش على الحجر والعلم في الكبر كالكتابة على الماء. He said, seeking knowledge when you're young is like carving into rock.
Yeah.
But seeking knowledge when you're old is like trying to write in water.
Hmm.
Okay, look at the carvings that we have in rocks from prehistoric times, bro. They're still fresh today.
Still around. Yeah.
And these carvings, some of them are 4,000 years old.
Prehistoric means before the calendar started, right?
Prehistoric, we're talking like what they would consider cavemen. Obviously, we don't know what is caveman, kalam, evolution, kalam.
Yeah.
I'm trying to push it. I'm just going by their timeline. Not by what they would say that the humans are at that timeline. For everyone tries to refute.
What you're trying to say is the stuff that's in rock is still around today,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
even
to say.
though it was carved long time
Yeah,
ago.
no, that and when you try to seek knowledge when you're older, it's like writing in water. Meaning, if I was to write, like if you was to write something on the seashore where the seabed meets the ocean, where the beach meets the ocean, you can write on it. How long is it going to last for? Come back an hour later, and as the tide rises and the waves brush against it, what's going to happen?
It will be gone.
It's going to go. Does that make sense? So when you're young, wallahi, what you learn will stay with you. The habits that you have, like imagine, they say old habits die hard.
Still got to die though.
Huh?
Yeah, you're right.
But the point is that make good habits from when you're young.
Yeah.
And a lot of it comes down to parents, I'm saying not having a mindset of productivity for their kids and not teaching them this thing. Like parents don't teach you about the importance of time. That's mad.
Are you speaking as a parent?
Yeah.
Not bad. So coming to you now, because you scored 9 out of 10. So I want to ask you, what are some of the things that you do to be productive with your time that people watching can?
Okay, I'll tell you what I did, because this is not like a it's not.
You're not going to give continuous. You're going to give do this and it will last you.
There are a few things different. So the first thing I was going to say is I wasn't raised with this mentality. So similarly to what you're talking about, it's not that my parents didn't value time. Of course they value time. I can't think of anyone. And my dad's very, very strict when it comes to this stuff. But there's one thing that's missing from that, and I'm gonna tell you about it now, which is I had to make a decision as to what I actually want. What is it that I want from the work that I'm going to do? I'm obviously going to be productive now. I'm going to do work and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But what are these steps taking? Where am I going with this?
Do you want to tell us?
Right? I mean, the point I'm making is I had to... No, I don't.
Okay, you don't. Oh, fair enough.
The point I'm making is I had to decide what it is that I wanted. That was the first thing. And they have to be clear, actionable, like smart targets. I don't know. They teach about that in school.
What, SMART?
I can't remember what they all stand for. But I'm saying the whole... One important thing about it is that it's...
Measurable.
Measurable, attainable, something... I don't know what the S is. But the point I'm making is they are things that you can identify and you know what it is. You'll know what it is when you get there, basically. If it's, I want to make this much money extra a month, or I want to memorize this much Quran, you will know what it is when you're there. Yeah. Then the next thing is I had to decide that some of these things just are not going to happen. Some of these things are unrealistic, unpredictable, unrealistic expectations, and I should
Do you want to give an example
orient
of those?
them.
Or nah, not that either.
No.
All right, calm.
Sorry, bro.
We'll leave the
Come on.
example.
Yeah, we'll leave the example. But the point I'm making is I had to decide that some of these things are not possible to attain. And the reason is because sometimes you have to give something to a goal, and the only way you're going to see fruits from it are if you give more input. Does that make sense? So for example, if you want to, I don't know why I'm using loads of gym examples, but the point I'm making is you have to do a particular set amount of reps and sets and frequency and volume.
Secret, like motive right now, gym.
Not
You got
even.
some secret gym targets.
Not even. But the point I'm just saying,
Maybe
with
he heard about you doing all the pull-ups in it, so he wants to.
Not even. But the point I'm making is with that example, you have to give a particular level of intensity and volume to see some results from that. So likewise with work, with seeking knowledge, with family, with whatever it is, I had to decide what it is I wanted. Then the next thing was and I know this is like, maybe you will agree with me and you won't agree with me, but you have to. It's mandatory. It's wajib. You have to have a schedule. You have to have a schedule, and you have to make the schedule work for you. So if it is one of those ones where you know, you want to get so amount of work done, you know how much work you can do. You know how much work you can do. Likewise, I know how much work I can do. So I make the schedule realistic, and to some degree, there is some flexibility in there, which is why I'm able to come here sometimes, somewhat last minute. So yeah, those two things. First, you have to know what it is you want. You have to know, and then you have to carve out the time to decide how you're going to get those things. Yeah. And there's loads of different tools and like
Should I ask you?
things you can add in to make that
I
happen.
mean, you give 1 out of 10, innit? So
I can tell you the things I'm trying to do.
okay, sure. But I mean, if you're not productive, then are they not working, or
I'm going to tell you what you need to do at the end.
I'll tell you.
well, you're gonna tell him what
Yeah,
he needs to
I'm
do?
gonna give him some direct.
Yeah,
The
no.
reason why is because I've tried to give this advice so many times, but
I
I'm
think
gonna
I-
do it on camera now,
I
so
think-
everyone can know
I think-
that
That you've given him this
Not only have I
advice.
given it, but he will like if we come and we have to
You've
do this.
established the proof on
If
it.
we have to do this
But can
podcast
I tell
again,
you, I kind of
then
think
it's
I know-
like, bro,
I kinda
you'd
think
been told.
I
innit?
think I know what it is.
Go on.
Should we do a game where you write it down, let's just see if you write down the same thing, or is that a waste of time?
No, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
No, it's a waste of time.
I mean,
Or you both say it at the same time.
okay.
3, and like in a short spot, you can't say I believe you should do it. Like
Okay.
literally, like summarize it in
Go
a
on,
word
go
or
on.
two.
Go
Yeah,
on, 2 words. 2 words.
2 words,
What about you? How many words are you gonna say?
3 words.
3 words.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Be
Bundle
disagreeable. Oh, okay. Wow.
Same thing.
Yeah.
We say bundle
Very
people.
close. Very close. I said be
It's basically the same
disagreeable.
thing. It's the same thing. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
He said be disagreeable. I said bond the people. That's really like I actually know how to be so productive. Like, but it's just that I give you an example. Yeah.
See,
He
that
became-
is the problem.
Yeah.
That right there is the problem. You need to say ack. You wasted my time.
Yeah.
Like, man, say it again, bro. Please don't feel sorry about it. Call me again tomorrow at the same time.
No,
and it's fine.
No, you don't
Violate
know.
my
It's
life.
actually, it was a miskin brother. Well, he didn't even. It was.
Bro, you
That's
need
the
to understand.
problem.
Everyone is a miskin brother.
Everyone's a miskin.
I know.
Listen,
Miskin
I
little
know.
brother,
Listen,
miskin
listen,
little
listen,
sister.
look. I needed to explain something to my brother once. Yeah, my
Yeah.
little brother, and he was there, and he wasn't getting bullied, but he was like getting picked on at school. And I was there, bro. Sometimes you have to cut some of these men off, and he was there like, no, but he's a nice guy. I was like, everyone is a nice guy. Find me a not nice
This is a
guy.
really nice guy. I really like him.
Doesn't
Like,
matter.
he's a very miskin guy.
Everyone is a nice guy.
Everyone is a nice guy.
I know. All right. Okay. So let me explain to you
Apart
what
from,
happened. Let me
few
explain to you what happened. Yeah. Do you guys remember when we used to go to? You guys will never know the realness. Like, as in, Guled will know how bad it was, but you definitely will have some recollection of this, and you will have recollection a bit less, but you will definitely have some recollection of this. But it was even way worse than before you came. But when we used to go to Stad to study with him, yeah, brothers used to come to the classes. You know what I'm saying? But brothers were really on wasting time. For them, the class was a jam. Like, we used to come,
chance to like meet the brothers,
meet the brothers,
teacher.
meet Stad, ask questions, randomly get fatwa for things that didn't exist. So how do we praise Salah on Mercury? You know them ones?
No way.
You know, if you
I
throw
don't think
yourself,
anyone ever asked.
if you throw yourself into the sun, is that suicide? Like, you know what I mean? Kind of dumb questions people ask.
I don't think anyone ever asked any of those questions, but I understand where you're coming
understand
from.
the point. You
But I
understand the
kind of
point.
understand it because for them it was like a sensational moment.
I
like,
know, but you have to
wow,
understand.
like
But you have to
I've
understand,
met.
man's actually,
No, they thought I've got this pot of knowledge, and I'm just gonna ask, and I'm gonna get a response
but
back.
Here's the thing. The thing is, we were actually dead study, and you know, we were supposed to study for like 4 hours a day, and then we'd study for half an hour because it would actually. I'm not exaggerating. It would sometimes.
Packaging.
In fact, it would very regularly take 3 hours to start the lesson. It would take about 3 hours to start the lesson.
It's really bugging me.
But can you just let the fly live now?
Yeah, they will carry disease.
Alright, so they would like really like sometimes 2-3 hours would go by and we can't start the class. Ustad was just, you know, like too nice to say to them, can we start? Like it was you know what I'm saying? His manners are like really high Allah in those kind of situations.
Who was that?
Yeah, like, he was just too
Bro,
nice.
look, I want to give an example
So let me
of
finish this point.
Ustad Abdul Hakim after. Remember what he said to us?
Let me just finish the point.
Okay, go.
So I'm talking about man. So time would get wasted, you know what I'm saying? And what made me even more angry is that them brothers, they actually all dropped out. So it's like you came, you violated for a couple months our time, and you didn't even take the stretch. So it's like you didn't even have to be there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So I had them kind of flashbacks today. Yeah. So obviously I definitely realized that I have to basically just
Okay,
L people.
shall I tell you?
I just don't have the heart to do it.
I'm gonna explain something to you, and you just have to listen to the end. Yeah.
Go on.
So you know how there's the Myers-Briggs personality test. You guys heard of that?
Yeah.
Where they give you like the MBT, ABCD, them things.
It's dead apparently.
Yeah, it's not very accurate, but there's another one that's actually way more accurate. It's called the Big Five, right? And one of the traits that are on the Big Five is called trait agreeableness. Yeah, you are probably quite high in trait agreeableness.
What does that mean?
That means you agree to people when they ask you something. You can't help but say yes.
Yeah.
Your default is to say yes. You find it difficult to say no to people. Those are just but just understand that there's nothing wrong with being agreeable.
You
Listen,
guys
bro,
have said
please. I conditioned you at the beginning. I said all you have to do is listen to the end. That was it. Right?
I never agreed to.
You don't have to agree. Anyway, see.
Oh, she said no.
No, he didn't say no. He didn't say yes, and he didn't say no.
Oh,
That's
okay.
actually how he gets into some of these problems, isn't it? Look.
Oh, wow,
So
I'm practicing right now.
Listen.
No.
There's nothing wrong with being agreeable.
No.
Agreeable people
I-
are compassionate
On camera
and
right
polite.
now, when you're accusing me of being agreeable, I am not going to be
Yeah,
agreeable.
just because I primed you, innit? But anyways, the point I'm making is agreeable people
I'll
are
take that,
compassionate
I'll take that.
and polite. It's actually a good thing to be agreeable sometimes. But you have to flex that muscle, innit? You have to say no to people. And there's no, the same way you were disclaiming, wait, did that get cut out? Where you were disclaiming with the brother, telling him,
Yeah.
oh, basically there's a part that got cut out where Imran was telling an
Keep
anecdote.
that in. That was good.
Imran was telling
Yeah,
an
you see,
anecdote
brother.
and he was
Okay,
saying,
okay.
I'm so sorry, brother, please don't take it deep.
Not the second story,
It's
the
not
first
your
one.
fault,
That's
and
what happened today.
he was really qualifying and saying, that he's sorry. But sometimes you have to just say no.
But can
You
I tell you
have to
something?
tell a person, even if they get offended.
So is it
That's
the same
their
story?
problem.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How many times have you told me this advice?
Many times.
How many times have you told me this advice?
I can't count.
So there's one thing that you guys haven't given me a solution for,
Which is what?
which is I don't have a problem saying no, but it's just when I do, people get so hurt.
We said this
When-
last time.
Let me finish.
It doesn't matter.
No, what do you mean, bro? Because we've dealt with them kind of consequences.
Yeah, I know, but it
You
doesn't
know
matter.
the kind of drama
I have.
it brings.
I've brought.
That people really, really, really take it deep for some reason. I don't know why. They start throwing man off the manhaj
Actually,
and going to scholars
My bro,
because we didn't give them a bit of time.
I'm on the front line with you.
But
But didn't we just
At
say a
that
second
point,
ago?
it's just
Those
like,
people.
bro, like,
But you're not telling me. You know what
Like,
it is. You know when I've done that though.
You do you?
You say some, not you man necessarily, but some of our own brothers are coming and say, "Imam, like that was a bit deep. Oh, you should have done it in that way."
okay,
It's
no,
always
no,
a
no, no,
condition.
no, no,
It's always
no,
like,
no,
oh man,
no,
you
no,
know,
no.
you just kind of cut them. You can't.
No,
do
no,
that
no,
guy,
no,
right?
no. You know what it is though?
it's
So you've got
so
two
bad.
extremes.
Yeah, I was
innit?
gonna say you're probably
So
on a
if you-
spectrum. Yeah.
Generally speaking, 99% of the time, you're on this agreeable.
Okay, I'll
yes,
tell you what.
yeah.
After today, watch,
And then,
watch.
No, but
if
see,
you
no,
ever
you-
say
you-
no,
you-
I'm
you-
going
this
to
is what I mean.
Listen, this is
No,
exactly
yeah,
what we're
just-
talking
you're
about.
just saying it right now.
Yeah, I'm there now.
No,
You know,
no,
see
no.
what I mean?
From
He's
there, I'm
saying
You
there.
that
went from
extreme-
here
The
all the way to
Aki,
there.
the
Now where
other extreme is bad as
I'm
well,
not-
where you're just being
I'm
rude
gonna-
to people.
I'm
You
not
can't
being
be
I'm not
rude.
gonna look at him.
No, I'm not
gonna
being
give
rude.
him.
I've never been rude. No, Abadan, I've not been rude.
No, but that's
Wallah,
what
I
you're
haven't
talking
been
about. This
rude. Wallah, I haven't been
when
rude.
you're there, like, oh, there's brothers
It's
who
not
come
rude.
up to you
I
and
just
tell
saying,
you,
like,
Aki, you
no.
did it the wrong way,
Okay.
etc. In those situations, you
It
might have
just
been a
goes
bit
from
peak to the
one
guy.
Okay.
end of the spectrum to the other.
There you
Like
go.
it should be in the middle here.
I've deleted my WhatsApp. All of you, man.
That is the highest level of hulu, bro. Shouldn't have done that, man.
That's what I'm
do you
saying.
mean?
Shouldn't have done that. Because there's a
Literally, now we're just
balance.
saying,
There's a
you
place
know
in the
what,
middle.
I'm gonna delete it.
There's a place in the middle.
There's only one way.
Here's an example. Here's an example. Look,
Deleted.
he just deleted his WhatsApp. Look, here's an example. By the way, if anyone
gonna be
knows,
back to you,
if
it's gonna be
anyone,
back
if
to you.
anybody has ever worked with
gonna be back
Imran,
to you.
if anyone has ever worked with Imran rejects Slack. What else is there? Slack, Asana, any team working tool, he rejects them. He only works on WhatsApp. It actually makes it really unproductive for the rest of us.
What do you mean, bro? I was the one fighting for Asana for time, and I actually jumped on it with you.
No, Asana, when it was just me and you, Asana worked.
Yeah.
As soon as we started
It's
involving
everyone else, it's not
anyone
me.
else,
It's not me,
as soon
it's
as we started
everyone else.
involving anyone else,
It's everyone
it
else.
just
That's my
became
point.
so
It's not me.
difficult.
It's
But
everyone else.
what about chat? Because you have to communicate, innit? It's not just task management. So
Anyway, can I tell you?
Anyway, the point I'm making is-
can I tell you like, what the scholars say about how to about planning your time?
So what's the khalasa? Are you just like you just?
there's
said,
a place in the middle
are
that
you
you have to
deleting
be able
WhatsApp?
to
Like, what are you
find.
doing now?
There's a place in the middle that you have to find whereby you can say no to
You
someone
downloading it.
and they're not going to get offended. Look, here's a good
No, I
middle
don't-
ground.
You know,
Here's a good middle ground.
I'm just gonna be tough.
Aki, there's a
Hold
good
on.
middle ground here. You already got it on your WhatsApp store, on your WhatsApp about thing that basically says, Aki, I'll answer all my questions on Sunday at this time.
Bro, you know
Get
what it
it?
is?
What you got to do is you
people
got to
don't hear
separate
that.
between work and friendship. You got to let everyone know who you don't directly work with. I thought you constantly go on about how I work with 5 brothers. These are the 5 guys in the office.
I
and
do.
I always and you only work with them Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday at that time you can deal with everybody else. That's how it should
I
be,
don't
right?
want to deal with them even on Sunday anymore.
Change your WhatsApp story.
No.
No, he's gonna
Just change your number.
Yeah, change the number.
Bro, can I tell you
Again.
something? Recently, my number's been getting given out.
So just change it.
Can't lie. Anyway, bro, I'm not gonna. I just want to get out of this podcast and start working. I'm really annoyed right now. I just want to start being productive. Can I just
guess
mention?
so.
Can I just mention what I'm trying to do?
Go on.
The advice
Yes,
that we
please.
took from the scholars on how to manage, how to time management, or how to make use of your time. Because this is what I'm trying to do. This being my journey, and I haven't got it yet, and I'm trying, and I'm gonna carry on trying. And I've seen brothers who do this; they actually end up getting it on Smash. The first thing is obviously to understand that time is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and any blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs to be appreciated. I genuinely don't appreciate time, because as much as I would like to, I get angry when people waste my time. I waste my own time at times. So when I waste my own time at times, that's me really not being as grateful for time as I kind of maybe am pretending to be. So I feel like I need to be more grateful to Allah for this blessing that He gave me. And the reason why that's important is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you're grateful, I will do what? I will increase you. Do you understand? I will increase you. So that's the first thing, yeah?
Sorry.
Second thing is to ask, to really, really, really ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to beg Him to put barakah in your time.
Yeah, I was going to say, barakah is a really
to give you
important thing,
time.
innit? Because even if you have tiny amounts, you can still get a lot done.
Barakah is the ability to do more with less. You know what I'm saying? You find people.
You're going to mention about working in the morning, stuff like that.
Yeah, working in the morning and whatnot. But just generally,
Let's talk about working in the morning in a second, because that's really
there are,
important.
like, for example, Imam Ibn Jarir al-Tabari, rahmahullah ta'ala, if you look at how many pages if you look at all of his works that he authored, and you look at how many pages he wrote, they averaged it out across how many pages how many years he lived and how many pages he authored, that he would have to be writing 40 pages a day from the day he was born to the day he died.
So he was probably writing a lot more when he was older.
Do you understand? Now the thing is, this kind of writing is not like just writing waffle. This is asanid.
It's academic work.
Academic. It's imagine which academic do you
like
know?
A PhD every day.
40
like
pages of a proper published academic work every day. You know what I'm saying? But he was able to produce that in a very short amount of time. How? Barakah Ibn Taymiyyah was able to write a text that is studied across the globe. It takes maybe sometimes a year to study it. Al-Wasatiyah, he wrote it between Dhuhr and Asr.
Between Dhuhr and Asr, yeah.
Barakah is important. The next thing that's important is to have a change of mindset, yeah? Which is, one brother gave me this advice, and I think it was one of the best things that he ever said to me, and it really made me see time completely differently. He said, you can't manage time. To manage time means that you can overpower it, that you can control it. Does that make sense? You can't control time. Time.
You can control how you.
What's the reverse of that? So what can you do?
So the only thing you can control is your priorities.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That brings me back to the point that you mentioned earlier, is that you have to let some things go. So I have to ask myself, there are many things I want to do today, many things I want to do this week, this month, this year, in my lifetime. But they are not all of the same priority. Sometimes our minds naturally gravitate towards the easiest thing first, because of laziness, because of procrastination. We want to feel like we did something, so we'll do the easiest thing. That easiest thing might not be the most important thing. Does that make sense? So you end up wasting time by what? By doing them kind of things.
But you fool yourself into thinking, I was productive.
Does that make sense?
I got X, Y, Z done.
That's like the bid'ah of time wasting, because you're never going to fix that. You're always going to feel like you're right.
You're always going to feel like you're doing it. And I remember I spoke to some of the brothers in the office. I said, brothers, I can't fault you for working. Like, you work. Your work ethic, Allah Barak, is so good. But this video is not coming out until 2 weeks. So why did you spend the whole day? Like, for example, writing footnote timestamps for this, or editing this, or you know what I'm saying? Like, as in, this is your work ethic is second to none, Allah Barak. But it's not productive.
Priorities, yeah.
Because it's not efficient. Does that make sense? So that's another thing, like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that for people is probably the single most hardest thing for them to do. Is that in the day, to do the thing that is hardest first.
It's called eat the frog.
Oh.
You wake up in the morning, you eat the frog.
Okay.
It's the hardest thing you have to do, eat it.
You have to munch the frog.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Eat the frog.
Basically, yam the frog.
A frog's halal.
May or may not be.
What
What should we call it instead?
Think about it.
What should we call it instead? Let's say they're not.
Well, I mean,
The reason why they say it is because it's hard. It's hard to eat. Like, if you had to eat a frog, you're not going to be able to eat it, bro.
It's hurting my mind. Go ask scholars. the
If you jump into the sun, is it suicide? I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
other thing to do is to read the biography of the scholars,
Mm.
Salaf, how they were with time.
Yes.
You know, for example, Ayub al-Sakhtiyani, rahmallah, an innovator came to him. He said, can I get a second?
Mm.
He said, you can't even get half a second.
Mm.
Another time, an innovator
Do you
came.
reckon in that response though, he might have given him a few seconds there? I think a better example is with
one
Sheikh
sec.
Al-Albani when
Abbas,
he used to be invited to places. He instead of just sitting there socializing, he would actually be there authoring his.
No, I
his
like
books and stuff.
that's good, but
That's a
I like
good
Ayub
example as well.
al-Sakhtiyani's one because that
Okay.
saved him potential other seconds. That half a
Okay.
second it took him to respond saved him other seconds in the future.
Oh, such a pedantic thing today.
That's it.
Also, another time
Close
a guy
that
came
off.
to Ayub al-Sakhtiyani. He said, "Can I speak to you?" He said, "Can you hold the sun?"
This guy's so witty. How's he able to come up with these
Rahimahullah
bars?
It was a great
It would have been really funny
Yeah.
if he said to him, if you jump into the sun. It's a suicide.
You're loving this one, aren't you? I think that should be one of the songs. That's an epic moment, I can't lie. Imam and Ibn al-Jawzi, whenever someone will come to him to talk to him straight away, he would pull up.
No, this gotta get cut. This gotta get cut. This has gotta get cut. You know the thing is, I was actually thinking of saying that as well. I was like, no, this is big. This is so big.
Imam Ibn
No, but
Jawzi.
you just imagine it. Can I ask a question? If you jump to the sun, is it suicide?
It was a Mu'tazili guy as well.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is the kind of dumb questions that innovators ask. anyway, Imam Ibn Jawzi, rahimahullah ta'ala, whenever someone would come to him, he would always have extra pen and paper next to him. So the moment they would come in, he would say, "Hey, write something."
Oh,
Hey, read
bro.
something.
As in, write the question.
No, just write.
Bro,
Read.
that's
Benefit.
what I do
Yeah,
to myself.
yeah.
So when I'm working
Yeah.
and random things come into my mind, and
Yeah.
I have a pen and a piece of paper there,
Yeah.
and I just write it down. So
I
I
do
don't
that,
forget.
yeah.
I don't forget this, but
Yeah.
I can do it later. Do you
No,
get
but
it?
he-
And
he-
once
he-
I've written it
something like
down, it's actually gone.
No,
It's
but
gone from my mind, but I can still touch
No,
it
you're
later.
right, but he would do it to others. I'm saying someone will come.
Yeah,
to
because he
disturb him.
probably had his own mind on lock.
No, he's
where he had
working.
to control the
Yeah,
random
he's working.
impulses of
So
other
someone will
people.
come in. Here's a book.
Yeah.
He says, "Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How are you? Alaikum salam." Here's a book. Let me go back to reading. You know, Imam Nawawi, rahimahullah ta'ala, never used to. Imam Nawawi, wallahi, is a prime example. He died at the age of 45, but the Imam, at the age of 45, basically became one of two main foundational Imams in the Shafi'i madhab. He explained Sahih Muslim, which is, and he has the best explanation of it. He authored so many works, like what he managed to achieve in 45 years. I mean, it's almost unheard of. You know what I'm saying? But then look at how he spent his time. He never used to even, like, his sister would crush the food for him and put it in his mouth for him
That's good delegation
because he didn't have time to what?
to
chew.
make the food. Yeah.
He's like, it takes too long to chew.
Oh, okay.
And she would willingly just crush it from him, put it in his mouth. He would give up sleep. I think it was Madrasatul Ashrafiyya where he studied in Damascus. One of the madaris there. He stayed there for 2 years. He never slept on his back once for 2 years. So how did he sleep? He fell asleep on his books. He would just read. In those 2 years, he memorized like books that were volumes, so much, you know what I'm saying? And on his deathbed, his sister, you know, she was obviously sad. My brother is dying. She said, you know, my brother, why didn't you leave behind like a child? Why didn't you get married and leave behind a child so I could remember you with, you know, I could remember you by. Look what he said on his deathbed. He said, I would have liked to, but I forgot. Forgot to get married.
Mm.
He was so busy studying, so busy memorizing that he forgot. Well, some of the examples that touched me the most is, you know, Qadi Abu Yusuf, the student of Imam Abu Hanifa. His son died, and he said, "Yeah, he said I can't wash his body and I can't bury him, and guys take him, wash his body, bury his body, pray the Salatul Janazah on him, because he said it's Fardul Kifaya, and there were righteous people there, they could do his Janazah for him according to the Sunnah, and he was like, he's gone now, my son is gone, and other people can praise Janazah." But if I miss the class with Abu Hanifa, there's a fa'i that I may regret for the rest of my life. You understand? That's how the Salaf were like when it came to time. You know, Imam Islam.
But you know, when you give examples like that, people at home might be sitting there watching, bro, that's like unrealistic.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so,
impossible,
like, for example, you know, you hear stories about how in Ramadan, some of the Sahaba would read the whole Quran in one day. Some of them in one rak'ah. Like
really
in
valuable.
the salah, they're praying. And for us, like, our mind doesn't comprehend it. And you think to yourself, how is that even possible? How are these scholars able to forgo the funeral of their own son because of this? And you know what it comes down to? And this is, again, the way it ties into productivity is you have to love what you do.
Yeah.
You have to
Absolutely.
want to do the thing that you're doing. The same way you struggle to be productive when it comes to running a business or when it comes to studying the deen, it's purely because you don't have a passion for it and you don't love it. And the evidence for that is all around you. I remember back in the days, like, people used to, the whole night in Ramadan, after Tarawih, come home, whatever, and then just play GTA until the morning, like good 9 hours straight. You put a child in front of a TV all night. They could sit there watching movie after. What's it called when you watch movies after one another?
Marathon.
Marathon. Yeah,
Marathon. Yeah, they used to do that. Even in cinemas, they used to do that with for example, they'll show like a whole Star Wars saga, like one after the other at night. You take a short break in between, toilet break, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But why? Because people love that. People enjoy it. People want to do it. So the reason why you're probably sitting there at home thinking, Imam, why are you telling us stories of people who are, that's a whole different league. That doesn't even make sense.
No,
bro,
but they loved it.
Look at social media. How much
loved
time
it,
do you spend on social media?
I know
like,
people like that exist today, bro.
what, a waste time on you mean the people
that make them kind of sacrifices?
They love
Yeah.
that.
Do you understand? And we see kuffar and even Muslims make those kind of sacrifices for what? Like for worldly gains. You know what I'm saying? But not for deen.
Like, even like you see guys who like rappers and that when they're trying to come up, but a lot of them you find them like they'll be sleeping in the studio. They'll be recording. Not to say obviously it's still haram and it's wrong.
of course.
What you're trying to say is when you love something, you can put in.
When you love something, you believe in it, you want to do it, you will do it.
Bro, I'll give you an example.
And that comes down to productivity.
I'll give you an example. Yeah, I hate to use these examples, but Beyonce was on tour for 3 days. And she mentioned that I was on tour working so hard that I forgot I had not slept and I had not eaten for 3 days.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like 50 Cent would say that, his friends would say that he don't sleep at night. He said, why am I going to sleep now? I sleep when I'm dead. For what?
That's called the flow state. So
Yeah,
what
the flow
happens is
state,
what
yeah.
happens is you enter it sounds like some mystical
The
realm.
zone. It's
Yeah,
the
so
zone.
it's, you're just there and you're working and time is passing by. You forget about sleep. You forget about food. You could even be really tired, but you're there, and all the work you do is amazing. And you can't think about anything apart from work, and you actually produce the best work in that time.
Do you know what mashes up people's flow?
Go on.
Is interruptions, and that's the thing, is that either human interruptions or interruptions in the way of social media and whatnot. You know what it is? You know that thing that you said about it's because you don't love what you do enough.
Yeah.
Most people don't know what they love. You know that, right?
Say it one more time.
Most people don't know what they love.
Yeah.
Most people don't know what they love.
That's why they waste time.
Yeah.
That's why they're always on GTA or on Instagram. Or
Yeah.
they don't.
There's such
they-
it's a proper aimless way of being.
Yeah.
You're just looking for purpose.
But you know what it is? People are afraid to explore and find what they love because they feel comfortable and safe with doing that which they're
That's
already
true.
doing right now. So
That's
if
true.
they've got a 9-to-5 job, retail or whatever it might be. Not that there's anything wrong with that if you are working that, but really and truly, why not go out? Like, you got a passion for example, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, like if it's a sister, maybe like jilbabs or something like that. Why don't you go and start looking at, let me find a supplier. Let me start researching wholesale jilbabs, or let me find, I might have a relative in a different country who's got a
and
tailor
it's
shop.
hard, but so
You
is
can put the
everything.
work in. And
But
people do it.
but if you love it, you will do it.
If you love it and you're willing to take that step, that you know what, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone. Well, wallahi, I do not believe you would end up regretting it, even if it flopped. The skills you learn, you learn from those mistakes, and you'd go on to do something better and better. And like when you see people who've got a successful company, go and ask them how many companies did they
that's
have
not the
before
first
that
one.
failed,
That's not
that
the
no
first
one
one.
speaks about, that no one knows about. People always say that, like, everyone only sees the highs. People don't see the
You don't
lows.
see the lows.
People don't see the struggle, and like, you're gonna have to go through that. But a lot of people, when they're going through that, they just give up.
And that's what the scholars say. When you look at Ibn Taymiyyah, you look at Al-Bukhari, you look at, as you said, you see the highs, you see the final product. But what you don't realize is that we all came out of our mother's wombs without anything. Allah
Everyone,
said,
yeah,
"Wallahu
came out
akhrajakum min butuni ummahatikum la ta'lamuna shay'a." Allah said, Allah took you out from the wombs of your mothers, and you didn't know anything. Meaning that the playing field was
Equal.
leveled. It was
Level,
equal.
sorry, level.
We all started off without any knowledge. What was different is what they did when they came out. Some worked hard, others didn't. And you know,
Yeah, like bro, tell the story of the kid who was crying and begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, let me memorize these hadith. I'm not able to memorize this. Please, I need to memorize this. And he was Muhammad bin Ismail al-Bukhari.
yeah.
That's him. And nobody talks about those lows, like when he was grinding and suffering for these hadith, but everybody knows him now. And
I'll give you another example. Yeah.
And let's give some practical steps to be productive, and then we'll wrap it up as well.
So I'm not really in a position to give practical steps, but what I'll do is I'll make
Stuff like, for example, in the morning.
I'll take for myself, as in I'll take it on. I'll mention some of the things that I'm gonna try and do.
Yeah.
And I like that mention it publicly, so people can maybe hold me to account.
So every time at the beginning, we'll ask you.
That's what.
Maybe not everyone, but
every now and again.
every now and again.
Okay, so here's the thing, yeah. It's so funny. Now you made me forget what I was gonna say. Yeah, I remember now. So, I saw this video clip here that shocked the hell out of me. This guy, I don't encourage people to go watch him because he swears a lot on social media.
Oh yeah.
But one brother showed me a video clip of his,
Yeah.
and it blew my mind. He's like an entrepreneur, shows you all that kind of stuff, how to be successful, make money, and all them kind of things there. He said, for 10 years of my life, I never took a single day off. But that's insane.
yeah,
He said, for 10 years, from the age of 20 to 30, for that whole decade, I did not take off one day. That's a kafir, bro. Making haram money. At that time, he was making haram money.
You're saying he didn't take a single day off.
Yeah, and he was saying my brethren will come in with like BMWs and nice cars and all this, that, and the other, and they will buy things from me, and some of them will mock me. And they were all out, having a good time with their good jobs, but I remained patient on my grind, and now I'm bigging all of them. And I'm thinking, bro, this guy didn't take off a day, 10 years.
probably doesn't regret either.
He don't, of course.
Yeah.
Bro,
That's what I'm saying. How can you regret productive time?
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that why is it that us, when it comes to seeking knowledge, or when it comes to our hustle, our grind, or whatever it is that we're trying to achieve, yeah, primarily seeking knowledge, and I'm talking to myself here, why is it that we want to take days off? Okay, I understand re-energize and recharge, but okay, but why are you wasting time? Like, this is a guy who's not wasting time. Do you understand? It's a long thing. It's mad. I know what I need to do, but I need to dash my phone away. The issue with my phone is my parents call me in it, and if my parents,
Another thing you could
if my
do,
parents don't ever pick up,
Another thing you could do
if I don't
is
pick up, then they take it.
let go.
Or
You've
if you-
delegated. Just let it go. I know it's hard. It must be so hard. Well, I'm really
I'll
empathizing
show you
with you.
something.
Well,
I
I'm
find it
really
so
empathizing
funny.
with you. Go on.
Aman just reminded me to say something. He said to show you also shows the greatness and the importance of time is Allah swore by time in many different ways. Wal asr, wal duha, wal fajr, wal layl. Wal shams. The sun time, is how we work out time. Allah swore by the night, by the morning, by the morning light, by the dawn daybreak, by asr, again, which is time. Like, Allah doesn't swear by things unless they're important things. You know what I'm saying?
They have value.
So yeah, He didn't just swear by it one way. He swore by it
Multiple ways.
many ways. You know what I'm saying? Well,
I remember, the first, you probably don't remember this, but the first time I ever spoke to you
Let's wrap up at
was
6.
when, the first time I ever spoke to you was when I was asking you that I was trying to give da'wah to my family. And I was like, bro, like, I've been trying to talk to them and I'm saying the same thing over and over again. And they're not listening. Alhamdulillah, they're much better now. But at the time, they were not listening. And this is 2013. So it's like 7 years ago. And you were like, Akhi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says sometimes the same thing in the Quran again and again and again, just in different ways. And if Allah, the King of Kings, can repeat something to show how important it is and how relevant it is to you, then how can you not do the same thing to other people? So it's just that concept, that you're mentioning, that the fact that time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swore on it many different times, over and over again, in different ways as well, just shows you how relevant, how important it is, isn't it?
Like, late night,
Yeah.
by the morning, by the daybreak.
It's the only thing
By
you
time.
can't get back.
Wow, that's deep.
Like they're saying it. What was it? There's a riddle. What goes up but never comes down? It's your age.
Oh, okay.
Or is it time?
Yeah.
That's your age,
yeah,
right?
that's your age, yeah.
Yeah,
what
it's
goes up,
timeless.
what never comes down.
You can give everything back. So you can get everything back. Money,
Health,
notoriety, health, even health to some,
even
to some
looks,
extent.
to get plastic surgery.
To some
medicines
extent, yeah.
and-
But you can never get
Which is
time
haram,
back,
by the way.
ever.
Huh?
But I'm saying, but time you can never get back ever.
So okay, brothers, let me ask a question. How can we now be productive? Us man here.
Isn't
As
right
in
now, right now.
No, as in,
Oh,
I mean,
as
I
in-
want to start from now, yeah.
Okay.
But so, what could we do? Like, obviously, me, the way I'm.
Oh,
seeing
that's
it-
what I was saying to you. I was saying, delegate. Honestly, just let it go. You got this brother, Allah Barak. You got multiple brothers in the office. Honestly, just.
But you know
just
what
let
it is
go.
though? I think there's a certain element of delegation, but then obviously there's a certain element of obviously at the end of the day it is still, for example, your
Yeah,
channel.
macro,
You're
micro.
gonna want
He's doing
certain
both.
things.
He's macro and micromanaging. Like
No,
yesterday,
no, no.
But
yesterday
I'm
he was
saying
telling me
even
about how
certain
he
micro
steps.
examples.
Mm.
He would still have to.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, like, let's use today as an example. Yeah, the set. No, they didn't get. Oh no, they do get to see it because he was recording the thing. In that example, sometimes just there you go. I know,
But
I know,
did
it's
try to
really
delegate
close
it,
to
but
home.
I
It's
did-
really close to home
I
example.
came out and I was so shocked. I was like, what the hell is
Look,
this?
That's what I mean. As
I
in,
really
like,
tried.
What I'm saying is that you can only work. You can only do so much on your own. You have
Can
to
I
let
say-
some of these things
Can
go.
I tell you, I understand that. And to be honest, me and him got a good working relationship.
Yeah,
right now.
Allah Barak.
Alhamdulillah. It doesn't overnight where he can take over everything and for me to let it go. But we're doing it
Yeah.
because we're working
Yeah.
out the right formula. To be fair, he's doing a really good job. Allah
Allah
Barak.
Barak.
And to be fair, I know I've been mentioning mad indirects for the brothers in the office this whole episode, but they do a lot of good work. So I don't want to I don't want to be unjust.
Sorry.
But I think that you're right. The one thing I need to do, and I need really you guys to do this for me, yeah, and maybe not you guys so much, but the rest of the brothers, is no people don't have access to me directly. Through WhatsApp, I don't answer my phone. I've got rid of my social media. You know, Jimmy manages it. The only way people have access to me right now is through brothers. You
Friends
get
of
me?
friends and friends of friends.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
affiliation.
So I just need people to just not bring people to me on it.
I mean, that would be a healthy detox for you, but at the same time, you
I-
need to create
and-
a system
and
to be able to
sometimes-
manage
you know
that.
what's so funny?
Those incomings are going to keep coming. You need to make a
That's what
system
I'm
to
saying.
manage that.
Like sometimes it's not even one where it's like
But sometimes you will
Bring
bring like
yeah, there's the odd person that manages to catch me on the street and end up bringing them in. Yes, it's a bit long, but I'm talking about limiting it. You know what I'm saying?
No problem. That's a good idea.
But you know what it is? Sometimes it's like no one really brings people in anymore, as in physically, but they'll bring them to me like
you,
there's a
you
guy.
know what's so funny?
Yeah.
Asked you, can I bring a couple brothers to sit with me while I while I'm doing my
I'm so
KC
angry
series.
to hear that.
yeah, no, I told him straight away no. He said,
I'm
he
so
said-
angry
He said
to
it's
even hear
fine.
that.
He said he understood. Yeah.
But
just like-
that's giving me anxiety to
Yeah.
even hear it.
Yeah. Good. Don't.
Bleep the name, but
Look,
that,
look,
that,
look.
that
Obviously, yeah,
just
believe the name.
that gave me anxiety to even hear that.
Listen. I've got.
1 second.
I
1
can't,
second, I have to calm down.
bro. Process it. When you're done, okay. Look, I don't usually bring the
I
benefits.
wasn't even going to
here,
tell
yeah.
you. That's why up until now I haven't told you. But I just thought it was funny.
Look,
just
yeah.
to
That,
mention.
like, that kind of stuff scares me.
Yeah.
I get scared of people. Like I actually get scared of people who waste my time. Like you've seen it in it. Like I will just stop. Like you know when a guy calls me. Firstly, Islamically, it's not allowed to call someone more than 3 times anyway. Just, it's not allowed to knock
knock
more
on
than 3
someone's
times. So
door 3 times.
call them more than 3 times. Scott has done qiyas of that. I think Sheikh Bakr Bazaid, he mentioned he said phone same applies to him.
Wait, as in you're not allowed to call someone's phone
3
Yeah.
times
in
consecutively.
a row.
Yeah. So
More than 3 times.
Yeah.
you know-
After the third, if they don't
You
pick
can't
up,
call them on the
don't call
fourth
them
time.
back.
you know when a guy
That's
calls
really
me
interesting.
more
I don't
than
call
3
anyone,
times
but-
and then he just start
Okay.
calling me and texting me, I actually get so scared. Sometimes I won't respond for 2-3 days, and I'm planning to respond. But when I see people getting onto bro, I start panicking.
Why?
And then I go to a different. I think this guy is mad. This
Oh,
guy's
okay.
a lunatic.
So you're not
Just because
thinking
he's
there might be
calling
an
you.
emergency.
Huh?
Just because he's calling you.
No, you don't
bare
understand.
times.
Non-stop. I think this is different. This is a clingy brother. Oh my gosh, I'm even getting panicky saying it. I start panicking.
Yeah.
I start panicking.
We figured out how to deal with that.
There
though,
was the
innit?
one brother that Guled
Okay,
brought
that's
into my life for like until this day. I've not
It
forgiven.
wasn't me, by the way. It wasn't me.
I've not forgiven Guled for this. I've told today he's brought this one guy.
He gave him your number.
I don't
Are
want to go
you
into
talking
it.
about?
I don't want to go into it.
Okay.
But he brought one guy into my life, and alhamdulillah now I've managed to clean up that situation. But the amount of anxiety and panic and stress
Oh, sorry.
that gave me and the time that was wasted till today, I think I have something in my heart. No, obviously I don't have anything in my heart.
Well, I think
but
you
I'm
should
just
do that.
so when I remember it, bro, I'm getting angry right now.
Bro, what I think you should do is, and I was gonna mention this, but it's
Yeah.
nice how this segues, is
Bro,
be
you know
like
Segway is not spelled like
it's not Segway, it's Segu.
I actually thought
Yeah.
it was Segway.
Oh.
Oh,
No, that's the
just-
name of a brand.
Sorry,
But
yeah,
Segway,
the rolling thing.
yeah.
Cool.
Look, listen, bro, please listen. You need to do what Ustad Abdul Hakim said to us.
Which is
Yeah.
what?
So
We've got 3 minutes, right?
when we started that class, he said to us, brothers, if you're 1 minute late, don't knock on the door, because I don't have the heart to turn you away, but I don't want you to be in the class. Do you get it? So you should tell everyone the same thing, which is, well, look, don't call me at this time, don't call me on this day. I don't have the heart to not answer, but I don't want to answer the phone.
So should I answer
You get
the
it?
call though?
No, don't answer the phone, bro. Same way for him. He might have let us in. We never came late once, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't
He might have
remember
let
him
us in.
saying
Yeah,
that
he did.
word,
Yeah,
that
he
wording of I
No,
don't have the heart.
I
Did
do
he say
remember.
that?
I do remember.
Yeah,
I do remember.
he said, I don't have the heart to turn you away, but I don't want you to be in the class either. Do you get it? And that's his value of time, innit? Even 1 minute for him is a
You
waste
know,
of time.
on that note, I'm dipping, and I must mention, brothers and sisters, you don't carry on. That's it.
No, it's almost
Bro, you
6
don't.
o'clock now.
I don't know where you started this idea of I'm gonna leave and you don't carry on.
You know why?
Yesterday I did a freestyle ending of relationship goals with Aman, and it was
One
great
second.
by the way. It was
Why?
great by the way.
I had
It
time.
was actually great,
Once
by the
I
way.
had time, I had an issue. I had a class. I had my Arabic class.
Mashallah.
So what, did you want me to violate my Arabic class?
No, of course not. I'm just saying maybe schedule.
I'm
relationship
really
goals
trying to
earlier, innit?
implement your advice about not being agreeable.
Please, bro.
On that note, I would disagree with the brothers on the table and leave. You don't carry on, inshallah ta'ala.
No,
But listen. I'm making a public statement right now. I'm done. Okay? I'm not answering no more calls. I'm not responding to no more texts, except for the people that are in my private, personal life that I want to respond to. And if you guys ever want to meet me in real life, then I have a rule. And I made this rule. And I was quite strict with it before the lockdown. You will only ever see me at the Umrah trips. And no, I'm not saying this for it to be a money-making scheme. Because till today, 5-star Umrah ain't paid me. Do you understand? It hasn't paid me. I've not been paid. I benefited a £700 loan from the company once, which I paid back for my mum's carpet. It's not a money-making scheme.
You haven't finished paying it back.
Oh. So, yeah. Well, okay. So I'm going to carry on with the installments. Inshallah. The point is that I don't get paid. Do you understand? I don't get paid. So it's genuinely, if you want my time, I can give, or I can, like a dog, like I'm with you. Am I not on Umrah trips? Am I not there? I'm there. That's your time. The only other time that you'll get is in the masjid during the class. I will come maybe 10 minutes early. I'll be revising. I'll be preparing. As soon as the class is done, I don't want to answer. I'm leaving. And I will leave. You know, Ustad used to do it the sickest. And I clocked that.
Yeah.
I clocked, you know, for years I clocked. The problem was, as I'm leaving the masjid, I make eye contact. I realized, you know, when you just look down, you don't even look at anyone.
Yeah.
They feel awkward to still come up to you. I clocked that, man.
Bro, I saw Sad trying to do that. Bam, I was still trying to grab him, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
But bro, I would see that he's gone half an hour before me. So
No,
what?
but he's also bare fast as well. He
Yeah,
makes
literally,
it a
as soon as he's
statement.
finished,
He makes that point to
everyone's still
pack
sitting,
up.
and he's already left the
I was gonna
circle.
say, yeah. By the
Shall-
he doesn't want to give anyone the chance to pack up and be able to
Shall I
catch
tell you
him.
a story?
He wants
yeah?
to take his
Shall I
stuff and
tell- Shall I
go.
tell you a funny story to show you how deep it is? Yeah. So I
thought you were leaving.
I used to do a class. Yeah, but
Oh,
this is worth it. This is worth it. There was a class I used to do. Yeah. So the students in the class, I clocked that because it was like not a big class. They would always want to kind of like chat to me after and have problems and go through it. And I would sit there for hours and hours. No, not hours, but like time. Sometimes an hour. I'm just answering the questions, helping them, present. Some things like, bro, I can't even help you. You need to go to a judge for this. You need to go to a qadi for this. I can't. And all I'm doing is being your agony aunt, just listening. You know them ones?
What's an agony aunt? Sorry, what's that?
Someone that just listens to your agonies.
Oh my
And you know that
goodness.
auntie just called and say, auntie, look what happened to
I
me
don't have
today.
an auntie like
My
that.
money.
I wish I had an auntie
Look
like
what
that.
happened to me today. You know the
Money,
ones?
money.
So
I ain't got an auntie
I
like that.
clocked the way. is the exit was at the end of the classroom, and I would teach at the front of the
And
class.
so you have to get through all these people.
Yeah, so the
to
moment
get out.
so I clock when I end the class, in the time it takes me to pack up and walk. So then what I was like, okay, what I need to start doing is I need to pack up while I'm talking before I end the class, but it was still catching me. Then the third week I came, I said, what I need to do is I need to end the class at the door. So what I would do is I've packed up everything while I'm talking. I'm teaching the
brothers
class.
are still
they have no
sitting.
idea. So what I start doing is I'm walking towards the exit and they don't know that the class has ended. And when I'm at the door, boom, I'm out the door.
Wouldn't it be more natural
Here's
to
the
just
traffic.
switch it over? Like make sure the table where you
I
teach
can't because
from
it
is
was the
at,
classroom we used to hire.
Oh,
So the
okay.
second week I did it again. One of them clocked on. So look what happened. On the third week when I was doing it and I ran, the student ran after me.
ran actually physically,
And to the
both
point
feet
where,
off the ground, kind of running.
obviously, remember, because I still got out. Like, imagine they're still in the class, so they have to pack up, right?
Yeah.
So they haven't packed up because I'm still in the class, but they clocked. So I've gone halfway down the stairs now. As in, there's a few stories, and I've gone halfway through, yeah. And I can hear them running, calling me.
Stampede.
What's that? You know the ones.
No
And
way.
I would lie, I was gonna air it, but it's something in my heart was like, oh.
Agree.
Yeah, there you go. That is it.
So I turned around. I was like, yes.
No.
What do you want from me? What do you want?
Taking my blood,
You're taking
not
my
my time.
You could just take a knife, just take it, just draw the blood, just take my blood. Just take my blood. What do you want to do with my blood? What do you want to do? You can't
You know
drink
those
it.
students who are
It's
listening.
najis.
They're
You
probably
can't drink
thinking,
it.
"Wow,
It's najis.
I'm such a waste of space."
Okay, guys, I think we'll.
Are you sure you want to wrap it up here?
I mean, I wanted to wrap it up
I've
on.
got stuff to do.
Okay, look, I'll mention two things quickly. Yeah.
Go on.
One thing
So
that I'll
sorry,
mention.
But you know, I'm in that mood to work now.
Oh, great.
Go on, Charlotte.
We've inspired him. It worked.
Yeah,
Wait, does that mean it worked?
it worked. Well, like,
Oh,
today's the
wow.
day.
It worked.
Today's a different day. You know
Alhamdulillah.
what it is? I'll be honest with you, yeah. It's gonna get peak now, innit?
Beautiful.
Anyone who asks me to check something at the wrong time.
That's the oppression that we're
That's how you
talking
should
about,
be.
innit? But yeah,
That's how you
okay.
should be. Okay, so two things that I would mention. So number
I
one,
don't even know what just happened. I don't even know what like.
They gassed me up. They told me I have to do that.
I didn't tell it. I know I didn't tell you have to do that. I didn't say spy anyone. Go
okay,
on.
so two things. First
Going
thing I would say
productive now,
is
go
the morning thing.
Yeah. Very good
Is
point.
that, you know, even the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the
Sallallahu
barakah
alaihi
is in the
wasallam.
morning.
Sorry.
So even me, I've noticed days where I sleep straight after I've prayed Isha, so maybe like 10 p.m. or depending on obviously summer, winter, all of that. But if I sleep around 10 p.m. And then I wake up at Fajr time and then stay awake and start working
Just
at that
do
time.
everything.
At first, it's a little bit difficult to break through that barrier of I want to go
I'm a
back to
bit
sleep because
tired
I'm
and
knackered.
groggy, yeah.
I'll just wake up in a few hours and start. But once you're through that barrier, you get so much done, and then pray Dhuhr and sleep. An hour, 2 hours, wake up, and honestly, you feel like you've woken up and it's a brand
And it's
new
a new
day,
day, yeah.
and you just start working again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you get 2 days worth of work done
in one day.
and
Yeah.
you're following the sunnah, which is to have a nap, a
Qaylula.
qaylula
Yeah.
between Dhuhr and Asr, and you just generally get so much more done following that. And even me, I'll be honest with you, I do struggle to follow it just because just mad things happen, you know.
Yeah.
Ride out, I have to go pick up a car at 12 a.m. in Croydon and then, you know, drive all the way back, and then, you know, life can get longed out. There are ways, but that is definitely one way that you will improve your productivity.
Absolutely.
And the second one, and the last one that I'll mention, is just delete social media.
Yeah.
Just literally
Both
as
of those things
simple
together
as-
actually tie in really well because nobody's
Delete
even
social
awake
media.
at that time anyway. Well, not nobody, but very, very little people are awake during
Yeah.
those times anyway. So the random notifications that you get, someone saying this, someone saying that, even if it's
Yeah.
just a forwarded message, those people are not
Yeah.
even awake to forward a message yet.
Oh, when I say social media, I don't really necessarily mean WhatsApp, although I do know people have done that, and I think it's benefited them a lot. I'm talking about stuff like Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever other apps,
Facebook,
TikTok,
whatever.
Facebook, whatever other apps
There's loads now, innit?
are out there. I think you know you have to get to a point where you just literally ask yourself, "Am I a nitty?" Like, wallahi, I genuinely believe that. Now, even like with the food thing, we've been obviously we did the episode on cancer, stuff like that. So now whenever I go to Tesco's and I walk past chocolate or crisps, and I'm about to get it, but I genuinely don't want to.
Yeah.
I ask myself, am I a nitty?
Am I an itty?
Yo, you man, remember I was telling you about my trip to Tesco? Literally, man, I have to walk past all of these, just saying, I'm not a nitty. I'm not a nitty. I'm not a nitty, fam. I'm not a nitty. I'm not a nitty. I'm not a nitty. I'm not a nitty. Wallahi, I'm not a nitty. And I say no, and alhamdulillah, it's worked.
No, I'm not an
For
itty.
everything.
You just remember who the hell you are. I'm not an itty and just walk the hell out.
Except Dairy
Love it.
Dunkers. No, I take it back. I'm a nitty, fam. I'm a nitty.
Oh wow, that's just a bit
I walk
hard.
past
yeah.
those,
That's your coke.
and
That's
at
your
least
cocaine.
2, like just, and I just struggle, and I go
That's your
home
crack,
and I'll
huh?
eat the whole pack.
Oh wow, that's
It's just like
can't
it's just
relate,
so.
but I get it. I understand what you mean.
It's just
yeah.
the one thing. other
That's
than
Kinder
that,
Bueno for Imran.
Like, no, yeah, no, literally,
Yeah.
like Kinder Bueno, because I would normally go to the bulk buy section where there's water, because I
Yeah,
drink a lot of bottled water. And there was a 20 pack of Kinder Buenos.
Oh,
And I
wow.
like Kinder Buenos a lot myself as well.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I thought, should I get it just for the man, for the office and blah, blah, blah. But then I thought, nah, like, I'm not an
I'm not
nitty.
an
I actually sat there and I said to myself, I physically had to say to myself, I'm not a nitty. And I just grabbed it and I thought, cool.
Remember.
And then, sorry, I didn't grab it. And I thought, cool. And then went round, I had to get cereal. That's near the crisp section. Went there, so buying crisp. I thought, I'm not a nitty.
Yeah,
thought,
more,
I'm not
more
gonna
on
get
that
it.
point. More on that
Literally.
point. The same way that Tesco and Sainsbury's and these supermarkets are designed to keep you inside them and get you to buy things, social media is made like that as well. It's
Yeah.
one notification that
Yeah.
someone's forwarded a really important benefit reminder to you, and now you're scrolling through Instagram.
Even
for
now,
45
Instagram,
minutes.
it changed.
Yeah.
I was on it, like, obviously, I've got it for company purposes. So 5-star Umrah,
Yeah.
active youth, which is a youth.
But in terms of personal social media,
I haven't
you
got
don't have
personal
it.
social media.
Likewise, bro. No
And
personal socials.
it updated and now it's completely changed. At the bottom, there's no more search. There's no more notifications. Like, it's just they're constantly updating it.
You know,
to
so I
keep
haven't
you on
used, I
there.
haven't even used Instagram to know that it's changed yet.
You just want to match one?
Not in the lot. I don't have notifications for anything unless it requires some response. So
Okay,
DMs,
like
and
stuff like
comments, and that's
that.
it.
Fair enough.
What would you say about schedule?
Schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the 2 points I was going to mention. I think you mentioned schedule earlier, didn't you? But I haven't told you.
You
Do
have
wanna
to have a
touch
schedule.
upon.
You have to. Okay, so the first thing is
I don't really have a schedule.
you don't have one.
Do you mean like a daily schedule or
I
a
have
weekly
daily
schedule?
Let me show you.
I don't have a
Maybe
daily
I'll show it to
schedule.
you. Hold on. So I have.
I feel like every day is so different that would it even benefit me to have a schedule?
That you need,
'cause
okay, how would you mitigate
schedule
that?
wouldn't be followed.
How would you eliminate some of these random things that pop up? Because to some degree they're predictable. Like me, for example, the reason why I said it in the beginning, and like I said, it wasn't a send, but the reason why I said that my most unproductive days are when I come here is because I know random things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, the set's gonna mash up, or this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. Imran's gonna come in halfway, eat pizza on the set. Something crazy is gonna happen, and so I have to write off the remainder of the day and not expect work to be done after I've left home to come here. Do you see what I'm saying? So I've kind of found a way to pass through those kind of random occurrences, but I'm sure there's a way you'll be able to do that as well. The thing that you're mentioning, yeah, that wake up at Fajr, etc. I think that's really difficult, especially in the UK, maybe also in some of the like the upper countries, because the Fajr time is changing so drastically throughout the year. So like now it's getting later and later, and eventually it's going to be like 6:30, 7 a.m. And then
Yeah,
in
but
the
on
summer,
a day-to-day basis,
in
it's
the
gradual though. It's like
yeah.
a minute or two.
That's true, but I'm saying so what could be done, and I'm actually planning on addressing this some way for myself, and I've addressed it for myself already. But anyways, the point I'm making is what you could do is address it on a month per month basis. So this month I'm waking up at this time,
Right.
and the next month I'm waking up at this time. Do you get it? And you shift your sleep time over by that amount so that you still get the same sleep cycles in, and so it's still easy for you to wake up. Even if you're sleeping less, you still manage to be awake and alive when you need to do work. Yeah, that's important. Here, this is a weird suggestion, but I would encourage you to do it, and I would encourage everyone else to do it as well. Just give it a go, yeah? Because this only works if you know what you have to do. Do you know what you have to do? Do you know what work you have to get done? As in, like, if I gave you if I eliminated all of the variables, if I take everything away, the commute, the food, you don't have to commute. All of your food is going to be delivered to you. You'll still be able to pray all your salah. You'll still be able to do all of the things that are going to distract you from work. I'll remove them. Are you able to just stay in the same place and the work will keep coming in and you can keep doing it? Or is it sometimes you have to wait for someone and you have to run around, get this, get that? Like, you know, when you're...
It varies. So some tasks are dependent on other people. Some tasks are not. It's like it's a mixture.
What I would challenge you to do is do a 100-hour work week.
100-hour
work week.
Work week.
It's 14 hours, 20 minutes of work every day for 7 days.
14 hours and 20 minutes of work
every day for 7 days. All you have to do is for 7 days. The reason why this whole thing happened for me, where I started to really nail it, really like boil down what I was doing and what I wanted to do, is because I actually did this once 2 years ago, and I realized that
for 1 week.
Yeah, for 1 week. Yeah, I realized that if I just remove all of these distractions and I just sit down and do work, I can just do work forever. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one of the benefits of that is, and what I'm trying to do right now, maybe I'm exposing too much, but what I'm trying to do right now is do one 100-hour work week every month.
Okay.
So in the month, I've done 100 hours in that week, and then the remainder of the time is normal, like I guess like the baseline. And the reason why that's beneficial is because you'll find out how unproductive you actually are, like how much of your time is actually wasted. How much did you get done this week? So in my example, I did it in October of 2018, and in that week I got more done than I had done for the whole year that had passed so far. So every single month, January, February, March, all the way up to September, were all not as productive as that 1 week that I did in October. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Just because it was deliberate. Like I was really trying to be as productive as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, that really changed a lot of things. So I'll challenge you to that, and you lot can try out as well. And you'll really see like how if I tune my efforts to being productive, how productive can I be? Like what are the limitations? What are the things that are actually stopping me? And when Imran says it's people, to some degree, I think for him that's very true. Yeah, but I don't think that's the vast majority of people. I think the vast majority of people, especially in my own example, was I can avoid people. I can get people out of the way. That's actually one of the smaller things to deal with. The other things that are much harder to deal with are my own internal distractions, things that I'm itching to do, things that I'm interested in, random thoughts that pop into my mind that I just have to quickly reset, those kind of things. And so I've figured out systems to eliminate those distractions from stopping me from doing actual work. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Okay, inshallah. I think that was quite a comprehensive podcast. Just try and be as productive with your time as possible. Wake up early. Number one, value the time that you have. Know why time is so valuable. Like sometimes it'll be a certain task that you'll do. It'll take a short amount of time, but it'll bring you a lot of returns. Versus a task that will take a lot of time and not bring you that many returns. So again, prioritize. And an example of one of those would be, for example, if you like this video, it'll take you a second, maybe 2 seconds. But if it shows up on someone else's feed because you liked it,
and you get rewards for it,
hella rewards for it. We can get a lot of rewards for that. So like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notification button if you're already subscribed, so you're notified whenever we make another upload. And we'll see you on the next episode. And don't forget, if you do want your own Chai and Bhai water bottle or tumbler.
What do you call it? It's a tumbler.
Tumbler.
Okay.
Click the link below. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace.
Yeah, bro, don't worry. Don't worry, akhi, inshallah. I'm going to take care of that for you. 100%, yeah? Alright, then, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Take care. Who's the... Listen, I'm up sign time, my brother. I'm out.
Yo, fam.
Hello, my bro.
Is that down, man?
Yeah, I'm down, man, bro. What's up, bro?
Hey, what? Listen, I heard you be spending hundreds of pounds on flipping cars and that for flashy show. What's that all about?
Yeah, bro, the cars is a way to lure the brothers in who like cars, and we talk to them about the deen.
So why didn't you go to the Masjid for free?
But bro, have you not seen COVID? Masjid aren't allowing lectures to be done.
But bro, you're taking charity money and renting out cars. How does that even make sense?
That's
the opposite of dawah, bro.
Would you be okay if I hired out a venue?
Yes, of course. Why don't you do that?
Well, do you know how much venues cost? I called up the Excel Centre personally. For 10,000 people, it costs over £20,000. This car right here, we hired it out for £100. Do you know how many views we get on average on Ride Out? Over 10,000 plus. That's 1p per view, where people are learning about Tawheed and Sunnah. Whereas if I was to hire out a venue, it would cost me £2 plus per person. This is 200 times cheaper than a venue.
Nah, you're still wrong, bro. You're still wrong.
Wait, 1 second, bro. I swear this is our car. Abu Bakr, is that you? Abu Bakr. What a joke, man. Sorry guys, Abu Bakr for you. Anyways, wanted to give you guys an update. One of the shows that we've got on our channel that's been popping is Ride Out. Alhamdulillah, it's opened us up to a completely different audience who would not be learning about the religion had it not been with Allah's permission for this show. People learn about Tawheed, learning about Sunnah, they're learning about Manhaj, and so many other important things. Guys, we're trying to take the show to the very next level. You guys have already seen what we've managed to produce on our channel already, alhamdulillah. That's just in about 1 month of us having launching the new channel. Imagine that we could take it to the next level. Look, I wasn't lying when I said it's gonna cost tens of thousands of pounds to hire out a venue to get what? A few thousand people in there. We spend a few £100s for a car every week and we get tens of thousands of views. And guess what? That's inshallah ta'ala gonna all be on your scales in the day of judgment. All you have to do to be a part of this project is donate at the link below. That's right, just donate at the link below. Why would you not want to be a part of this process? Give a little something. You guys have supported us for hiring out venues in the past. I'm telling you, this is a more cost-effective, cost-efficient method. Do you understand? This basically is our new venue. Every Sunday, ride out, catch us. And like I said, if you want to support, donate at the link below. Peace.